Can you make nice signs with box store router bits? Let's find out. So we get questions all the time. People that already have some router bits that they got at like Lowe's or Home Depot and they want to carve signs. Well, for years we've been saying that in order to carve a decent sign, you really need to have the right bits. So we're at Lowe's right now. Next, we're going to go to Home Depot and we're going to pick out the 3 best bits to try to carve decent signs with and put them to the test, see what happens. So from Lowe's, the first one we chose was an 1/8" straight veining bit or a straight mortison bit. Now we chose this one because this is the closest thing they had to our profile bit. So this is number 1. The next one we got is a 9/16 90-degree bit. Now this is the only one that compares to say the 60 or 90 or 3/8 90. It's the only V-groove bit they really have and it's pretty big. So we'll see what happens. The last one we chose is actually one that's discontinued. It's the only one left and it's a 1/4" surfacing bit. This one might kind of compare to the 60-degree, but we're not 100% sure yet. Now we couldn't find a price for the surfacing bit, so we asked somebody, and this is actually discontinued, so you can't really get them, at least in this store. But we're gonna buy it anyway because it's $4. Not a bad deal. All right, so at Lowe's, that was a total of what, $74, Dad?
Yep.
$74. Now we're gonna head over to Home Depot, just to be fair, and see if they have anything better. So, let's go. Okay, so now we're at Home Depot. Now their selection's quite a bit smaller than Lowe's, but we did find a 90-degree 1/2" diameter bit that we're gonna get. It's $40, pretty expensive, but this is a little bit different than the one we got at Lowe's, so it's just one more to add to the arsenal. And now we're gonna head back to the shop and we're gonna find out what works better, our arsenal or the big box. All right, so we're back at the shop. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the 4 best bits we could find at the box stores, Home Depot and Lowe's, against our 4 bits. Dad's gonna use the Lowe's and Home Depot bits, and I'm gonna use our bits. Dad's gonna have the best of the 2 boards, and I'm gonna have the worst of the 2 boards. We're trying to make this as fair as possible. Dad's doing the harder part because some people think Dad's a better carver than I am. It's debatable. So the total for the box store bits was $117.07. The total for our 4 bits, including shipping, is $123. So yes, ours are a few bucks more, but we're not accounting for gas to go to the store. So there's always that. And also, I will leave links to all of our router bits and a ton of other stuff that we use that'll take you right to our website, makeawoodsign.com. Now let's see how these things carve.
So the first bit comparison is the veining bit. Now this one is 1/8" diameter. It's 2 fluted solid carbide. It cut okay. I won't say it cut great, but it did cut okay. But the problem is it's 7/16 flute length with that 1/8" diameter, and being a straight flute, it had a lot of chatter. I really felt like if I pushed it very hard, it could break off. That might just be my feeling on it. But the big thing is, it's flat bottom. Being flat bottom, there's no way to get any detail. Now this one, the only ones this compares to is our profile bit and our carving liner. Those both come to a point and we can get into tight places and do tiny detail. With this being, as it's a flat bottom and 1/8" diameter, you're just not going to get the tiny detail that you can with the profile and the carving liner. So the next bit from the box store is the surface forming bit. Now this one I think has got a 90-degree, it didn't even say on the package. I think it's a 90-degree bit. So we put it up against our 90 and our 60 because we don't have a 60 that we got from the box store. Now this bit actually cut pretty decent. It doesn't cut as good as ours, but it actually cut pretty decent. But the big thing that I think is going to be a problem with this is the fact that it really is only one cutting flute. That's going to cause it to get dull a lot faster than if you've got multiple cutting flutes. The other problem is that because it's a 90 at the tip, it won't get into small inset letters the way our 60 will. The other issue is, as far as we can tell, it's been discontinued. At least at our local Lowe's stores, it's discontinued. Now, I don't know if that's the case throughout all of the Lowe's stores, but that is a concern. So the next two bits are pretty much the same, just one is a bigger cutting diameter than the other, and those are the 90-degree V-groove bits. If you're doing nothing but big signs, these will probably work okay for you. I don't think they cut near as good as our 3/8 90, but I think they would work for you for sure if you're cutting nothing but big stuff. The problem is, comparing it to our 1/4" 90, you can't even fit those if you're doing small signs, only if you're doing big signs. So they've got nothing that compares to our 1/4" 90, and our 1/4" 90 can fit in some areas there's no way that these things can fit into.
Now that all the carving's done, we're going to spray and sand both of these signs and see how they look. Now, we chose these templates because it's kind of a good representation of the different bits that we want to use. There's some detail stuff, there's some other stuff, but the letters are all 1.5 inches. If we would have used 1 inch, then we wouldn't have been able to make this video because none of those other bits would have been able to do it. There it is, guys. So the general consensus is, yes, you can carve signs with box store bits. However, that's not what they're designed to do, and especially when it comes to detail, you can't really get any sharp points or fine detail. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, of course they're going to say their bits are better. They're selling bits. But here's some food for thought. If we were wrong and there was no difference at all, we could have just scrapped this video and went on to something else. Our bits are designed for what we do, and there's a reason for that. So I'll leave a link in the description below for all of our bits, plus our base plates and everything else. You can head on over to our website, makeawoodsign.com, to check them out, and we will see you guys on the next one.